are here, and apparently there has been a huge incident. I don't know from the chat, but I have gotten this game to work somehow, and now I'm gonna rush into the game. Whoa. Okay. So good to hear that my headphones aren't working, but we're gonna get this to run somehow. Ah, fuck. Hey. Come on. Come on. Okay. This is why I never. Oh, jeez. See how it. Damn. Okay, now we shall join the session as a spectator and get this one underway again after it's already started. So now the race has already started, but I'm assuming that we are under safety car or something like that, considering that we haven't gotten back into it. So, okay. And no, we are not under safety car. We are actually on lap 10. It is Apraptor, apparently from pole, has dropped down to P7, just made a move on Patty. As we shall now get all this stuff open, and we have some people lingering at the back as we have a few people out of the race entirely. Yep, Apparaptor, who started from first, now at the back as we see these fast drivers flying down and we're gonna get a bit of moving here for Watson. Gets right past ADS and into the chicane. We're gonna see. We're gonna look back. We're gonna see a flanker side by side. He has to. Patty has to. Flix has to cut to the track just a little bit. Lord TV is gonna go around the outside into the fast right hand king, and he's able to get that move done. What have we got going on here? As we see Apparaptor fighting with Patty, and Chrissy Boy getting passed down the inside, but he's gonna go for the switchback, and we just have to back out and go straight into the pits for the number 2 Haas. Aston Martin. And now we're going to see a little bit of contact for Apparaptor now. A flanker. Getting out. And we see Lord TV making a move. Almost looking down the inside. Aggressive defensive penalties getting thrown out for some people. Now we're going to see Lord TV around the outside getting tapped. And I'm just going to get this open so that we can see that. And yeah, we're going to get that open. I'm not going to be able to use that cool graphic that I wanted to display, but now into this corner, we're going to see them soar into that one. As now I'm going to try to get my sound working. If we can. Couldn't connect. Yeah. So we're not going to be able to get the sound working, but we can definitely keep an eye on this race without the car noises, even though we wish it was there. As we see Apparaptor started from pole yet again this season. Now trying to look for the move on Monty Marlborough as Jamaica Jam, the championship leader, drop all the way at the back to get past Blurry. Brams leads ahead of Watson, ahead of ADS. As we see Apparaptor going side by side with Monty Marlborough into turn 1. He gets the move done after Monty Marlborough goes into the grass just a little bit. And that kicks Albers on a move back, ripping off the sandbags and trying to put himself back into a competitive position in this one. As this train of cars just sorting themselves through the middle sector as Apparaptor just tapping the wall just a little bit. And we see now down into the fast right-hander, completely flowing, and now with the ERS, using his ERS a lot earlier now on the Williams, who's got wing damage, trying to look for it. Oh, losing out with the DRS. Now it's gonna open up for Monty Marlborough going side by side with their teammate Patty, and Monty Marlborough just going side by side as the back out as we see ADS dropping behind Shy and Apparaptor, and now the two V-Carbs getting right past them as well. And now the V-Carbs are fighting again, and they blocks them just a little bit, holding it in defense, and it's great fighting in the middle sector with the midfield as Lord TV and Flix. Lord TV getting it all loose, and Flix now looking for it on the outside. Is he able to send it? Yes, he is. He's going to put it around the outside, but he's not going to be able to get that move done. Now we're going to see Apparaptor now on the outside into turn 1. He's going to be able to get that one done. Is the Pullman on his way to try and pull himself ahead of these drivers once again. Now we see Watson just pulled himself into the DRS of the Ferrari driver in first. Chrissy Boy sets the fastest up of the race from 12th position. And also getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. It's easy to get warnings at this track. As we see some people who haven't hit, like ADS and Shy. And now we're just going to see Apparaptor, who's on a move now. One of the highest up driver with a penalty. And we got Watson as well, who is pushing as Chrissy Boy gets past his teammate, and Patty gets past Shy. Now we're going to keep this eye on this one. Another battle. A bit of a battle for the lead. Watson trying to make a move on. Watson, who started from 4th, started in 5th place, I think it is. Maybe 4th or 5th. As we see, we have fighting in the midfield. We're going to look at that. Lord TV gets past El Flanker. And now, with Dear Watson has DRS. Don't see many moves in turn 1 unless they are already pulling themselves ahead. But who knows? You can always get something insane, can you? Now this battle here really close amount of cars. So we're going to see actually here side by side into turn one for the Haas. As we see, Penguin was crashed, broken a bit of that front wing on the straight somehow. This midfield train is not breaking up, are they? They will not keep moving, not yielding at any point in this one. Just trying to hold themselves on, and Shai, who's got the wing damage, just trying to push himself into the groove. As we see Watson now with the ERS burning, 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 burning. Brams isn't using any ERS. Now they are. And with the DRS, he's going to pull away and pass. As now to the chicane, he gets it a bit wide. Monty Marble gets past Shy. Williams dropping down 2 positions to the both Racing Bulls cars. Brams using that DRS to good effect, but now, Watson using the DRS to good effects now, but now it's Bram's turn to put up the heat, to bring up that tempo as we see El Flanker around the outside into the kink and making a nice move with DRS on Lord TV to get back that position. Here we see this battle resuming. Patty, Monty Marlborough, and Shy, both of them trying to pull away from that Williams car, trying to make sure that they can pull themselves up and retain these positions as we see the Red Bull Penguin going slow out of turn one. Only car to be left in this race. Brams is almost dropping out of that DRS, is he? Yes, he will be. He is going to drop out of this DRS. Actually, no, he holds on. He holds on, but not enough, really. He's got to... I would burn a little bit more, trying to pull yourself into it for the next straights. As we see Chrissy Boy crash into the barriers, just like Sebastian Vettel. He's going to have to put himself back the right way around. But it's Sebastian Vettel from 2022 all over again. As Monty Marlborough gets past his teammate. And we're going to look back at this one, as it's the Alpine that has the DRS, but is it the Haas that can make a move? No, no dive bombs into that 90-degree corner at this time. As Brams actually does not have he doesn't have the DRS, and now it is all over as Chrissy Boy gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting out, which will probably be removed. Maybe. 15 drivers left in this race. 14 still in the hunt as we see Penguin retire in the pit lane. Bring out the yellow flags on the main straight, which should seize up overtaking in that final corner. But it is now on El Flanker to try and make a move on this Alpine. Is he going to go down the inside into turn three? Yes, he is. Oh, close bit of contact between the Haas and the Alpine now. As into the middle sector, he kind of cuts over the turn as Crazy Boy also retires in the pit lane after making a pit stop. And now has to hold on. Now it's El Flanker trying to make a move once again. The battles have sort of gone away as both of these two tap the grass. Now in this curved end of the second sector, in this curved corner now, El Flanker's going to just drop back a little bit as Flix is just holding onto the DRS, looking for their opportunity to try and make a move. As After pull themselves into Bram's DRS, as we see down the inside for El Flanker. On the inside of Shy has left the session while running in P6. That's good for ADS and everyone behind. But now, we're going to have to drop out of that one because it's After versus Brams time. I think that was both a corner cutting for the both of them, maybe. As, getting away from that real quick. Let's watch as Flix gets 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, so unfortunate. So unfortunate. Flanker's not able to hold on. Kenny can't even hold it on the racing line. It's going to drop back a little bit. He's on 11-lap old tires like a lot of other people. All right, let's take a look at After. He's probably going to get the move done here. Is that kick out? We're starting on pole. We're going to try and close in on Watson. As we have yellow flags for Flix, who had just pit. And now After takes second place away from Brams. But if we take a look at the penalty, he's got a 3-second time penalty. So now he's going to have to pull away, which you should do without too much difficulty, considering how quick he is in this race. As we see Blurry crash Or no, retire in the pit lane. But it is going to be these two fighting for the final points with the championship leader, Jamaican Jam, versus Flicks, who now gets the DRS. And now side by side, Flicks gets right past Jamaican Jam as we see the retired Kicksauer, who actually did it on track. It's just a bit too early as we see Brams and Monty Marble, and no, Brams and Patty pulled to the pits in their respective cars. So now what is the strategy here? Because now the Brams hitting is now going to come out in actually P7. P7. Now their tires just starting to wear out a bit too much. We can look at them. But now it's hunt mode for Apparaptor. Now I'm gonna assume that Apparaptor is supposed to be like a raptor, like a dinosaur. So as now the raptor chases down on his prey. That was corny. Um, Gaining 10th after 10th after 10th, ripping the sandbags off of after apparently bottling the start. And whoa, he has gained a lot on Watson. As there's a lot of time in this one. You have a train of blue down here, actually. The retired shy Patty Flicks and Jamaican Jobber spins it off of the turn and he resets a track, which I don't know if it's a penalty in this league. It's usually a penalty in other league. Is side by side for Flanker and Lord TV. Side by side in the final sector. Who's going to win out this one? He's just coming back out, and this is awful for Brams, who just came off the pit stop and is going to have to get past Lord TV, who's defending this one just a tad bit. Not really, just he kind of lets him through as Flanker pulls into the pits. At the end of the lap there. Now, ADS is also in the pits. So now, are these tires starting to wear out a bit too much, or is anyone going to try and bring it to the end? Or is Brams pulling off the ultimate undercut? Now on medium tires, how long will those last, though? If apparently 13 laps on hards is a bit too much. If nearly 10 laps on hards is a bit too much, how much will nearly 10 laps or over on the mediums feel like? As, he pushes Flicks onto the grass and almost takes out the Williams. Not a lot, though. Nothing really happens there. Luckily for the Williams driver. As we see ADS now trying to close in on the V-carb. I'm losing my words here. With the DRS, putting it in medium mode. 10 seconds to the nearest car ahead of Patty, so now he's just going to have to try and... Now, they're both on new tires, so... He's going to have to push that bit harder. Now, here's the thing for Watson, who is starting to lose as Money Marble actually pulls into the pits. Rams now has the net race lead if those two at the front are going to pit in this race. Now, if Apparaptor takes the lead of this race from Watson at this point, if they're doing a one-stopper, would they have to pull it to the end? Oh, no. Would Watson have to defend this one, or is he going to try and defend it and then leave it late, let him pass late, and make Apparaptor waste his effort, waste his energy to get past that Haas, and then in the end, not be able to pull anything off? As you see Monty Marble now closing in on Lord TV into the chicane. Nothing doing for the V-carb on the Alpine, but he might see something on this next straight as the top two pull into the pits, and that's going to be Brams by 2 seconds, who probably take the lead as Monty Marble around the outside into that quick 90-degree corner and pulling past the Alpine, who goes a bit wide there. And now we're going to see Brams come out. No, they're going to come out in front of Brams. Are they? Are they? Is Brams going to be able to get them? No, he won't. But he's going to have a run and a half off of this one. But they have the DRS, so now it's just going to be a three-way battle for leaders races. Apparaptor has gone soft. He's gone to softs. Watson's gone to hard, so that's perfect for Watson if he on tire wear. But now he's gonna have to hold off because now after Raptors put it on softs, he's not gonna make it to the end, is he? Because softs at this track do not last a lot. So now this race has been flipped on its roof. But now after maybe trying to pull out the 3 seconds when he gets past, and then hope that he can hold on with the tire wear or manage those tires a lot. But now, after just gonna have to back out on this corner, but it's gonna tap the back of Vaz, and now it's gonna be after's chance to get right past him down to this corner, but he can't. He's gonna put it in none and hold off. So now Brams is gonna have to try and hold this one on, but now After's looking for it. Now is Watson gonna make After waste those softs behind in the dirty air of his Haas car for the win of this race, or is he gonna try to hold on for long enough as Sean rejoins the race to hopefully take back that car, which is now in 8th, 6 seconds behind the nearest car? Now, after's drop back, he's not going to be able to get it in this corner, but he should absolutely send it through these corners, in the fast corners, and over these next laps. But will he kill those tires is the question. A race that's been flipped completely on its roof in the final moments. We have just over 7 laps to go, and this one is turning out to be one that is still up in the air, in question. As we're going to see After who might get past here. Is After going to get past here? Yes, he is. And now Watson's going to drop back, but now After is going to be able to pull away with the DRS that he has again and the soft tires. But was Watson not too caring about that? Does he think that After's soft tires, if he doesn't nurse them a lot, will they die out too quickly? Wish I had a second commentator to maybe answer that question, but now it's really just up to us to wonder and imagine what's going to happen in this race as Watson still holds on to the DRS. Brams has dropped back a lot as that driver sets the fast lap of the race. And now, oh, these cars look so fast, man. As now it's really just up in the air. No one on track, except for these two, are within DRS touching distance. Watson's doing pretty good to hold in, but I don't think he'll be able to hold on for much longer through these fast corners. Oh, he's just using his ERS. He's just not able to hold on as he dropped out. I think he has. He's using too much ERS to try and hold on to it, but After is just too fast at this stage of the race. They are burning nothing, these drivers. Burning absolutely nothing. But now, Watson can push these tires. He can really put an edge on them, but After can't on his soft tires. Was it a mistake for After to go to them? Because with that 3-second time penalty, he has to not only pull out that gap, but then survive when those tires drop off. Because once the tires drop off at Albert Park, they drop off at Albert Park, do they? He is pulling out, trying to get rid of some slipstream. I don't know if After's gonna get any at that angle, but and how far they are apart. But this is crucial. These are the moments that define a race. As Watson is starting to pull himself back in, is After starting to save his tires? Or is he already feeling the wear? 3 laps on those, and he's pushed them. He's set a fastest lap of the race. But now Watson has pulled himself back into DRS distance. So now it's completely upturned, and now Watson still has to try and get past him, because what if Watson, while sitting behind him, just, he's got a 3-second, I'll just keep it chill. But what if Watson ends up making a mistake and ends up getting a 3-second himself? So he has to try and get past him. Either way. And now the plan's gone fully wrong for After, because if he was trying to pull away as quickly as possible to retain his pole to a win, it has completely flipped off. But After obviously can't just call it quits, can he? He has to hold it. Because what if, I mean, what I said earlier, what if Watson gets a 3 second time penalty? We still have plenty of time, 5 laps to go, and we still have plenty of time for anything to happen if Watson's pushing that much. Jamaican Jam now is going to try and make a move on the, well, ghosted car. But I think Watson might actually just stick behind. I mean, I would too, personally, and just not risk it. Not risk having any collisions, or I mean, I would get and drops it on his soft tires and loses the lead of the race. In the fast corners of the second sector, it's just so devastating. We saw Jamaican Jam do it earlier, and now After is the one to fall to the punch of the soft tires losing their grip. And now, push too hard and push too early. After is going to fall victim to Albert Park and just make a mistake. No damage. Luckily, he didn't hit the wall, but he dropped it and nearly lost the whole car. But now he's going to be definitely pushing. Maybe try and catch back up to Watson. He won in Suzuka. I think he might have won last one, actually. Maybe. But terrible stuff for the Kick Sauber driver, who now actually is within distance of Brams on his older medium tires. For that penalty, can he drop out of second place as well? Because now Watson is pushing ahead. Those tires seem to be shot for Apparaptor. That is a mistake. You don't go to soft tires unless there's that little laps to go. But now he's catching up. Now he's put himself back in the groove and gained about 5/10 in the past few corners. And it's now actually Monty Marlborough. Doesn't matter what tires they're on it now. Monty Marlborough with only a 3 second time penalty. Can he now get past Brams and pull away? Because they've got the DRS, do they? Yes, they do. Brams has lost out to After's 3 second time penalty. But now, can Monty Marlborough do their best to take a podium away from the Ferrari's clutches that was leading the race just earlier, now down in P3 and at risk of losing losing that P3 spot as well? After's kind of called it quits here. He's not going to push it too much. He's already wasted those soft compound tires. But this P3 is completely on, and it's also completely on for P2 for Brams if he could push this one up with After's dying tires to 2/10. He only needs his 2/10 to gain, and now After's still got to keep pushing. But does Brams have the pace in those 9-lap-old medium tires? Every lap that goes by is just another chance for After to lose that car once more. The pressure is piling on in the dying stages of this race with 3 laps to go. Well, 2.5. As Monty Marlborough is going to go down the inside on the curve straight to take P3 on track, but now he's going to have to pull out a couple seconds, 3 seconds exactly, to try and keep it, unless Brams gets a penalty. He's going to have 2 laps to do it. Can he do it? And actually, now it's all to play for. Actually, for P3, maybe if they can catch up to Apparaptor. They're on similar age of tires, but completely different situations with the tire wear. As just sliding out of that corner. So we're gonna see El Flanker here on Shy, the car that is out of this race, really, with disconnections and pulling up into P8. And actually, with the DRS, can Monty Marlborough pull Brams into that P3 spot, in the P2 spot? It's all to play for. It's all to play for, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's pretty slam dunk for Watson now if he can just not make any mistakes. But who it's not slam dunk for is it's not slam dunk for Lord TV and Jamaican Jam, who gets the final points paying position. with as the leader of this championship, and now having to close it on Shy, who is disconnected with 2 laps in their race to go. Monty Marlboro is just trying to close in on App Raptor as much as they can. I don't think it'll be close enough to catch, but unless App Raptor gets another time penalty on this last lap, it is completely within. Oh, just a bit of sliding. Yeah, that's really it for any chance of maybe catching up for that V carb. And now you're going to see what happens in this one. It looks like Brams, without mistake, if there's no mistakes, should be able to take over that P3 spot and win this one out. But unfortunately, their mediums are just too dead at this point. And actually, you can see with Raptor, and maybe in this chicane, how dead those soft tires are. And yeah, you could just see it throwing that car in. So visible as Jamaican Jam now is going to try and get past the disconnected car of Shy. But while that is happening, while that battle of trying to catch up to L Flanker for Jamaican Jam, it's going to be Watson from I think P5 or P4 is going to win the Australian Grand Prix after a great battle with Apparaptor. And he takes the win in under the entire world, down under. As Monty Marlboro is going to take P3 on track, but it's going to be Brams to take that P3 spot after gets P2 after dropping off from pole position. It's going to be Patty to take that P5 spot with ADS in P6. Now, what I want to see, as the two Alpines have gone past Shy, can Jamaica Jam pull anything on L Flanker? I think it's just a bit too far off, but ADS is going to take P6 with Flicks in P7. L Flanker is going to be able to hold on from Jamaican Jam. The chasing Alpine is going to be able to hold. It's not going to be able to close in fast enough as L Flanker takes the P8. But Jamaica Jam, the championship leader, in P9, P10 for Lord TV, and Shy having the disconnected car having to be in P11. And congratulations to those drivers who finished and at least got some screen time. The Australian Grand Prix ends in victory for the Briton of Watson. After the Italian has to take P2. I believe he could have gotten the hat trick. And after the hat trick wasn't gonna pull out, but he did get the fast lap. Most overtakes apparently is Flicks. Watson wins ahead of after ahead of Brams, out of Monty Marlboro and Patty. That is your top 5. As we look down the order to those who DNF'd and were behind that, let's just get the race director for anyone who needs it. Well, Watson from P4 won it after the start from pole was not able to convert it, and a great race in my books, in my opinion. And we'll see you next time out next week.